let's talk about it. Your Philadelphia Eagles versus the 49ers. The Eagles are underdogs at home at 10-1. San Fran is -3. Total is 47.5. Money line is -155. Sharp, talk to them because you got a bet, a heavy bet, a big bet, and we've already talked to it. Talk to
Yeah.
us on who you on this side and tell us
Um,
why.
I've actually fired twice. I'm not gonna lie, so this is gonna hurt some feelings. This is kind of like Ohio State, Michigan, except for I'm doubling in. If you know me, I don't always. I love the Eagles. That's my squad. I always look ahead. I feel like I'm pretty good at putting 2 weeks together and seeing how things are going to go for them. The Eagles just don't need this week, guys. They were going all out for that Bills game. You could tell. Fletcher Cox, apparently at halftime, he got in Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter's face and told him they can't be asking out in the second half. Apparently they were asking out in the first half, winded. Second half, he was like, guys, there's no one. It's you. We need this game. And apparently he got in their ass and they responded. In my opinion, the Eagles literally laid it all on the line to beat the Bills, knowing they're probably going to get mollywopped by the Niners. I think we're too beat up. I would rest Fletcher Cox. I would rest Milton Williams. I would not play Dallas Goedert.
There you go, Gino. Touchdown.
I'm not playing any of these guys, to be honest with you. When the Bills game was still going on, the Niners were +1. I hammered it for 10 units. And then Monday morning, I turned around and hammered it again when the Niners were -2.5. This doesn't change how I feel about the Eagles. This is just a schedule loss. The Niners have extra rest. They're more rested. They're healthier. And they got their asses handed to them in the NFC title game, right? Yep. The Eagles don't need this win. The Niners need this win. The Niners cannot lose this game to a beat-up Eagles team on a short week. It's just going to get ugly, guys. Like, I don't know how to say this. Don't take this personally. I love the Eagles. It has no reflection of how I feel. It's not going to change how I power rate either team moving forward. I still think the Eagles are a better team. They're just flat not winning this week. We had too many tough games in a row. There's going to be too many injuries that are adding up. You've got Lane Johnson banged up. I would not play him. You got Fletcher Cox banged up. Again, I would not play him. I'm not playing anyone that's 50-50. I'm not rushing Dallas Goedert back for this game. We have Dallas next week. That game means so much more than this Niners game. We have Dallas and then Seattle, both games on the road. This sounds crazy. I would literally use this week as a mini bye, rest 4 or 5 of the guys that I just mentioned. Even if we lose by 21 or 30, I literally don't care. Lose by 30, let the Niners feel good about themselves. We're still 1 game up. Win the rest of your games, go win home field advantage, and then you'll see the Niners when it matters most. That's how I would treat it, and I've gotten some information that the Eagles are starting to probably treat it that way as well.
Whew, a lot to say here. So let me ask you this. We already know what the Lane split is. If Lane Johnson plays, obviously the bet's already put. Do you get worried?
If Lane plays?
Yeah, if Lane plays.
No.
Okay.
No. I just, like I told you, Fletcher Cox is banged up. Milton Williams is banged up. Dallas Goedert's banged up. No. Now, if they all play and the Eagles win and I lose a lot of money, then, yeah, that's going to hurt as a bettor. But I will then for 100% know we're going to dog walk everyone to the Super Bowl, right? Like, it'll be like, okay, well, we're going to win this thing with our eyes closed.
Right.
As a fan, I guess I'd be super happy. But you know how the NFL goes. Like, you sometimes just have schedule losses where one team just has all the rest. They got healthy. You're banged up. Like, this is just – it's just a scheduling loss. Like, it has nothing to do with how these two teams are. I just feel like one team has been sitting there for extra days rest. Great game plan. This game's been circled for – I mean, dude, they got humiliated in the NFC title game, right?
Yeah.
Humiliated.
Yep.
They're the ones that are going to be mad, not us. We're just going to be like, okay, it's whatever. We're 2 games up on you. Like that's how we feel.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I don't disagree at all.
Like it's not even the fan in me saying this. Like I want the Eagles to win. Like it's just not like I wanted the Ohio State to win. It's just not like sometimes you just got to see how it's going to go.
Yeah, no, I don't mind betting against your team if it's about winning money at the end of the day. So that's what we're here for. We're here to give you guys the best pick and the best size to win money. And if that is betting against the Eagles, then that is what it is. Now I think it's going to be raining in this game.
Yep.
So I think, and like you said, those injuries to the defensive line, I think are vital here.
And
So I think,
Cunningham, right? Our best
yeah,
linebacker hurt his hamstring. Like
yep.
guys usually don't come back in 1 week's time from a hamstring injury. So, I mean, we're talking about maybe signing Shaq Leonard. Maybe we don't. We signed Ben Van Sumeren off the practice squad to the active roster.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're using practice squad linebackers against Christian McCaffrey, I don't think I need to really speak much more, right? If we're relying on Ben Van Sumeren and Christian Ellis to get Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey on the ground, guys, I don't think it's like a crazy stretch to think we're in trouble.
Yeah, I would be looking at McCaffrey over his rushing prop here. It's kind of where I'm kind of thinking with
I mean,
no.
George Kittle, like if it's Christian Ellis having to cover George Kittle, like I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I like
guys.
Kittle. Yeah,
I mean,
I like Kittle here as well.
no offense to
Um,
Christian Ellis. He's an Eagle and he's an NFL player, and he would bench press me out of this room right now. But I mean, dude, Christian Ellis trying to cover George Kittle. Let's be serious.
yeah, I like Kittle. I like AJ. AJ's due, right?
And let's be
AJ's
honest. Let's
he's
call the
due
elephant in the room. Let's call a spade, right? Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk want James Bradbury. Whoever James Bradbury is covering, I can tell you the ball's coming that way.
for sure.
And James
Absolutely,
knows it. He knows it. Everyone on the field knows it.
he does.
James has lost his step. Receivers are getting by him. It is what it is.
He
And
had a
he's going to
he
get
had a good game last game. He had a
totally
good game
agree.
last game.
He's
He had
still
a good
smart,
game
right?
last game.
What he's lost in foot speed, he's still gained in football IQ, right?
Yeah,
So he's
yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. He has some physical limitations, and I think there's some receivers in this league that definitely smell blood.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely he hasn't had his best year obviously, but he showed up last game. There's been a couple picks he should have, I think, maybe 2 or 3 picks more than he has.
He's still elite in zone coverage. He just struggles when he's forced to be in a man-to-man situation with no safety help,
Yeah,
and the receiver has the ability to get vertical. Yeah, James is going to have some issues.
Jamal Adams looks like a linebacker. He don't even look like
Dude,
a safety.
he is a linebacker.
He's a fucking meatball, bro. He looks like a fucking linebacker.
Yeah, he's a meatball hold the spaghetti.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what CMC touchdown here is -160. Man, it's the question I have, because I just like I think the Eagles are going to be up for this game. I do. Like I think the Eagles are going to be up for the game. Like a lot of talk, a lot of shit talking. I think San Fran was already up at the Rocky Stadium, having like a pep rally already. Like it's just like bad news. There was I was at the game in Buffalo. San Fran travels well. There was a good Buffalo crowd in Philly. So the crowds are starting to get bigger and bigger. Now, are they invading? No, but they're getting bigger and bigger in these games. So
well, Buffalo fans are crazier than Niner fans. I'll put that out there.
yeah, and
So,
they travel well. Buffalo travels well. They always have.
if you're going to have a fan base that's more likely to show up drunk to an Eagles stadium trying to have a good time, Bills fans will be up there
Yeah,
on that list to be like, well, damn, they don't care.
yeah, man. I want to agree with you here on this Niners bet. I really do. But I'm thinking of the matchup, the offensive matchup. The offensive matchup. I don't know if that's a pick or not. It's probably a flag. Our offensive matchup versus their defense. Like people keep talking about Chris Young, and I'm really not really worried about Chris Young.
Chase
And
Young.
this is, I mean Chase Young, yeah. I'm not really worried about him. We've seen him twice. He hasn't really done damage to us, especially if Lane plays. So Bosa has a tough time against us as well. But like
I'm
it's all
more
if
worried
Lane
about their
plays.
offense. I'm more worried about their offense on our defense.
Mm. Yeah.
I just think we're too beat up on defense, man. Fletcher Cox is banged. Like, we're just so beat up.
Yeah, we
And
are
now
beat
you
up
got
on
Jalen
defense.
Carter coming off 70 snaps, Jordan Davis coming off
Davis
60
off
snaps.
yeah, and he
Those
came
are
off a lot of
career
snaps.
highs that those guys never even came close to playing ever in another game. So they're going to
Yeah.
be they're stressed to the max.
Agreed.
I don't know. It just feels like a scheduling loss. I don't know how else to say it. Like sometimes
Yeah,
you just got
no, I agree.
you
It
look
is.
at the schedule and you're like, damn, this is 4 tough weeks in a row.
This is a tough game. Here comes the loss.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Notre Dame in college, right? They played all those tough games in a row, and then it's like, damn, now they're playing at Louisville on a short week, and Louisville's rested. It's like, damn, like you just said, here comes the loss.
Yeah, here comes the loss. It was. If you're seeing this video right now, that means you made it to the end. So congratulations. You are now almost officially part of the Money Team.
Moneypot.
How do you become a part of the Money Team? If you're new to the channel, you have to hit the subscribe button. We want to blow this brand up. It's not me versus you or us versus them. It's us versus the sports book, us versus the bookman, aka the boogeyman. So make sure you're on the winning side and the winning team. I got bonus content up here for you guys to choose from. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. This is Moss Money. This is Money Pot. This is Money Pot Betting.